Guys, if you're enjoying this content, help get this channel to 100,000 subscribers by subscribing to the channel if you already haven't, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Now let's begin. Men have abandoned society and women for lives of peace and happiness. So you have a lot of women right now that are absolutely furious because men have walked away from Western society. They are not working, they are not participating in this broken society. They have found ways to survive. These women are freaking out. They are furious about this. Roughly 40% of men are now actually refusing to work. Yes, 40% of men who can work are choosing to drop out of society. They're saying, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. We are not going to do it. We're not going to put up with it. And women know that without men in the West, in without men in the workforce, there's no tax revenue. No tax revenue, no public assistance. Look at how some of these women are responding.
American men dropping out of the workforce.
Believe it when they say that 7 million men have dropped out of the workforce. Ladies, please don't give them cash, your card, or shelter.
They're salty as hell, y'all. They're salty as hell. They're salty because they can't control men anymore. You see, without men, you don't have a country. A country without its men is not a country. It is a wasteland. And women have brought this nightmare, this reality upon themselves.
Girls are out here trying to manifest rich men that they don't even understand that just
they don't fuck with needy ass women. You taking advice from a hair hat hooligan. This is how to leverage your vagina 101 for financial support, like I saw my mother do. That's what she's talking about. If you can't afford to get your lace front that you got glued on redone, then maybe you shouldn't get the lace front glue on. Maybe you should glue in some tracks. Or how about you get another job? How about that? What wealthy man, what rich man wants a woman with her hair glued onto her head and the fake baby hair squiggly lines sprayed on and matted down with spritz?
You see, guys, these women messed up. They messed up. They messed around, and now they found out. Men are going overseas, and they're going to Africa. These African women have long hair, putting coconut oil, like real coconut, in their hair, long, luscious hair. All right, blue eyes, green eyes. Yeah, it's some real amazing stuff. It's some real amazing stuff. Okay, real hair, nice, beautiful women. Like, it's unbelievable. You go to different countries in Africa, and these women all look different. All right. You go to Asia, you have a different flavor. You want darker? You want dark skinned? You have dark skinned women in Philippines and in Thailand. It's crazy. You want white skinned? Philippines and Thailand. Asians come in all different colors. It's unbelievable. You go to Africa, different colors, different shades. Guys, you go to Europe, you have different shades of people in Europe. Okay, you get whatever you like. These men aren't tolerating this anymore. They're not putting up with this game anymore. MK Fitness is causing trouble in the chat. We got to get you on one of the streams, bro. He says that, and the hair smells like Cheetos because they can't wash it. Yo, bro. I'm telling y'all. These women, they don't know. They really don't know what they have lost. They're out here speaking jazz, and they can't even come put rent money right now, crying on social media over rent money. It's hard in these streets. I know it's hard in these streets, sister, but no one's coming to rescue you.
Lately, I've been hearing a lot of women talking about finding a rich man to marry. And while I am a fan of the luxurious, hypergamous lifestyle and being taken care of, I know that a lot of you sound illogical. Most rich men date within their own class. Most of them are not going to date outside their class. Most rich men look down on poor and working class women because they are not only classes, but they are also misogynistic. And a lot of times they use women like you as sex toys or mistresses, but they're not going to wife you. I remember in high school, this boy told me he did not want to associate with someone in my class because he was rich and drove a red car. Mind you, I didn't even want to talk to him. He started an argument with me, but he was so classist and likely racist that I still remember him to this day. That's how a lot of rich people are, especially as adults, because a lot of these snotty rich kids we went to school with were taught to act a certain way by their parents. Now, unless you are a highly skilled witch that knows how to use Jezebel root or Jezebel oil, which is very dangerous, by the way, you cannot just easily find a rich man. I'm not saying it's impossible to date or marry a rich man, but it's highly unlikely. As a woman, you need to be independent, have your own job, and have your own money unless you're disabled.
Bro, did she just say unless you are a witch and know how to use Jezebel root? Nah, bro. What did we just watch? What the living heck did we just watch? Bro, these people are literally summoning the Jezebel spirit. Oh my gosh. I really wish MK was in here. I really do. He says, what the F? She is talking about using witchcraft. I, nah, nah. Damn, this is crazy. Bro, I don't know what this is. What did we just watch? The Jezebel summoning, summoning the Jezebel spirit. Guys, this is what the feminists are doing. Guys, don't eat food. Do not take food from these people. Do not take food from people. I'm telling y'all, you have to be very, very careful. I was gone for a number of years, and I don't talk about it very often, but I got poisoned. I got poisoned years ago, and that's one of the reasons why I was gone for a number of years from YouTube. I got poisoned. Okay, you have to be very careful. Don't trust a lot of these people overseas because they will try to size you up. They know that you have money in your pocket, and they will try to off you. And they tried to delete me. Thank God I made it, but I was sick for years. I'm telling y'all, these guys, witchcraft is real. It is absolutely real. They will try to attack you with that crap. Okay, these women are up to something. My gosh, like they should ban that stuff. Did you know that in some countries that stuff is outlawed? Like I started looking into this after my experience, and I discovered that, for example, in like some countries like Jamaica, you can go to prison for witchcraft. Bro, this is like these women in Western society have lost their damn minds. RFC says witchcraft. It's crap, but they will really hurt you with this stuff. They will really hurt you because these people, they listen to me, they're mixed up in so much. These are evil people. These are evil people. Yeah, that's what Pit Master says. Don't eat the spaghetti, guys. I'll tell you something. When I was in college, tell you about this. I was in college, and a friend of mine, he told me that his mother had prepared a meal for her for the man she was seeing. And he asked her, Mom, could I have some of the spaghetti? It was spaghetti. And she told him, you can have anything you like, but you can't have that. Why? Because she had put something in it to get that man. This was 20 years ago, y'all. 20 years ago, this happened. And it was a single mother. He was there with his single mother. And we knew, and he said that we know exactly what she put in there. I've heard stories like they put their menstrual fluid in there. Like, oh my gosh, y'all. Uh-uh. You have to be very, very careful. You have to be very, very careful. RFC says fortune tellers are also evil practices. They absolutely are. Stormy says if you eat the marinara sauce, it's over. Mm-hmm. Happy says that in the Philippines too, they use witchcraft. Nah, research it. I did not know they were using it over there. And that's frightening because the Philippines is a very Christian and Catholic country. So you would not expect it there. But then again, Mexico is an extremely Catholic country, and they have witchcraft all over Mexico. So you're absolutely right. It's not shocking. It's absolutely not shocking. What trouble are you causing, MK? He says, I'm selling love potions online. These desperate women will buy. Bro. Like what these ladies are going on with is absolutely insane.
Y'all, is it true that men dislike independent women? Your girl got a perspective. Let's get into it, family. Y'all, I don't think men dislike women that can take care of themselves. Personally, don't think that that's unattractive. What I've heard, and men correct me if I'm wrong, is the way that women who take care of themselves and do it well conduct themselves with men. Sometimes women like this can carry an attitude of, I don't need a man. What can a man do for me that I can't do for myself? And men feel that energy. I think it's important for a woman to be able to take care of herself. But I think the way that she goes about it, to not diminish other people or make other people feel less than, can push people away. Now, there are men that don't really want women that make a lot of money because their pride is like, I can't be with a woman who makes more than me. And I get that. But I think men have more of an issue with the attitude that comes with women who say they're independent.
And here's the thing. A man wants a woman who can take care of herself. A man has no problem taking care of a woman, but he doesn't want a woman that cannot survive without him. Where basically this is going to be someone like, if they break up, she's going to try to go for half of everything and say that she needs lifetime alimony. A man doesn't want a woman like that. A man doesn't want a woman who's needy. A man doesn't want a woman who cannot live on her own, cannot be independent of him. Okay? A man wants a woman who has common sense, who is reasonable. For example, MK Fitness, his woman, she works, she has a job. He covers all the bills in the house, but she goes out there, she works, she makes money. She is capable of living without him. That's what I'm talking about. She appreciates him. She's very happy to have him. She will do whatever she has to do to keep him, but she can survive without him. She will not be out on the street if she does not have him. She's actually doing pretty well for someone in the Philippines. That's what I'm talking about, versus someone who, like, if you leave them, that's it for them. Men want a woman who is capable of taking care of herself. And it's just crazy. Like, a lot of these women, they can't take care of themselves anymore. They're seeing what's happening. The roosters are coming home to crow. Inflation is insane. Guys, I'll tell you something I experienced. I can't believe this. So I buy bottled water. I ordered, just like maybe like a few weeks ago, I ordered, what was it? Poland Springs. And I was getting Poland Springs for $4. It was $4 for 28 bottles, right? That's a great deal. And it used to be 24, I think, and then went up to 28. And I was like, oh, that's a great deal. 28 bottles for only $4. So that worked out to, I think it was something like 160, and I bought like 6 packs of them. So I think that worked out to something like 168 bottles of water, which was great. However, I decided to order water again today, and this was frightening. So check this out, y'all. They discontinued the 28 packs, and now they're selling 12 bottles of Poland Springs for $4. So they have literally cut it in more than in half. Because 12 and 12, that's 24. And you used to get 28. So just like 2 weeks ago, you could get 28 bottles of water for $4. Now it's 12 bottles of water for $4. Like, this is insanity. And now if you want to buy a larger pack, you can only buy in 40s. And they try to make it look like, oh, you're saving all this money. No, you're not. Because it's now $9.99 for 40 bottles. But when you do the math, for example, I bought 3 packs of those, right? So that's 40, and I bought 3 packs of those. That cost me $29, almost $30. So let's call it $30. That cost me $30 for 120 bottles of water, versus when I spent just a few weeks ago $24 for 168 bottles of water. This is insane inflation. They literally doubled the price of water. I've never seen this before. Guys, they doubled the price of water. Doubled it. This is madness. They more than doubled it. You could get 2 weeks ago, it was $28. $28. It was $4 for 28 bottles of Poland Springs. Now it's $4 for 12 bottles. Guys, this is insane inflation. This is insane inflation. Who can survive? Who can live in this madness? You know, like guys, I ordered Chinese. I ordered Chinese today, bro. I ordered 2 egg rolls. Right? They had a deal that's like 2 egg rolls for $5, bro. When I got them, they were tiny, tiny egg rolls. My order was literally like just like some chicken wings and fried rice and a little bit of lo mein. And when I say it was a little bit of lo mein, it was a little bit of lo mein and a little bit of fried rice. And what I paid for that was literally around $40. What it cost me to buy that, I could have bought back 20 years ago for about $5, $6. This is insanity, y'all. Okay? This is the insanity of inflation. How is this happening? And women can't afford this stuff. Women cannot afford this. They're going crazy on social media. They're crying. They can't even afford Lunchable meat anymore. They cannot afford anything. And that's why they're so furious. That's why they're so furious, because they can't afford food. They're literally out here like, how's everyone surviving right now?
Does anybody else literally cry in the grocery store because the prices are just too high and you literally buy 3 things because it's just so fucking high and your kids want everything? Sucks.
Tell you, it's hard being a single mother. It's hard being a single mother. You know, you have Tyrone's children to raise, or Chad's children. It's Tyrone. In her case, probably Tyrone. It's Tyrone. And, you know, they made these decisions. And now they don't even know. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to survive. Guys, women messed up. They really did. Like, they kept on pushing. They kept on going. And now this is the situation that they're in. And men are walking away. And these women are furious. Like, they want to go after dudes because dudes aren't working now.
Telling people that you work, which is a total lie. If you don't work, then you tell people you don't work.
I'm sorry, I've never made that.
You do.
No, I don't. I'll say
And
I don't work. Hey, America, I don't work right now. I don't have to hide it.
Actually,
I don't have to hide it.
Okay, well, let me just get a little further with the work.
Come on.
You went to church, and someone from the church who was going to help you, they ask you a question, how long has it been since you have not worked? And you said, and this was 3 months ago, and you said it'd been 3 months.
Oh, really? So you was there, so you know exactly what I told this group of people.
Chelsea?
She was at work.
At the end of the day, TJ probably is embarrassed, but, you know, the reason why...
At the end of the day?
Well, totally. You know, but the reason why...
I'm sorry, nobody can really say that statement because I was the only person there.
Okay, first of all, bottom line is, when you don't provide, when you can't provide for a woman, and you knew you couldn't provide for the woman, you should have never married her in the first place. Okay? You set a marriage on a foundation. Okay? You set it on a foundation, and if you're going to use God in it, then it's built on a godly foundation.
Me using God, I don't go around bashing, using scriptures against somebody.
Okay, that part of it, we're going to stick to the story of the no job.
That is part of it.
And the lying and the manipulation. Okay?
Well, maybe or maybe not. I don't know. But
I mean, if it's evil for me to continue to be frustrated at you because you don't work, because you lie to people.
Since the day I pulled up to paint your house.
And we are about to lose everything we have. I just lost my job.
I don't even know how you
can say we. And that is why we are here.
Who is we?
Because it's a marriage.
She hasn't brought anything to the table. You were raised in a home where everybody brings something to the table. He brings zero. He doesn't have 2 cents to rub together.
I understand.
So how can it be we?
Let me tell you something. You complain about your daughter not being in your life and your granddaughter, but you won't step up and say, you know what, TJ, you need a job. Let me watch your granddaughter today. You won't even offer that. Okay? No, you did not. You've never offered that a day in your life. Yeah. You don't.
Here's another punch in the mouth verse. 1 Timothy 5:8. If anyone does not provide for his relatives, especially members of his household, that's your wife and kids, he has denied the faith and is worse than what? An unbeliever. A Christian man who doesn't work is worse than a non-Christian. Okay? Now, if you're offended, you're wrong. Okay? If you're offended, you're wrong. All right? Here's what he says. There are non-Christians and there are Christians. And the Christians who have men in the family who don't go to work to feed the women and children, those men are worse than the non-Christian men.
Now, guys, what does this look like to you? Do you remember when I told you about the fall of Rome and how they tried to shame the men? And Caesar literally said that the men who refused to marry are worse than all of the criminals in the Roman Empire, or worse than all of the thieves, worse than all of the serial people who basically worse than everyone, worse than all the criminals in all of Rome, the worst of the worst. That's what he said. Men that refused to marry. And these men were banned from going to the Colosseum. They were banned from participating in public events. They were forced to jog together in the wintertime like a chain gang because they refused to marry. And they still would not, despite all of this punishment. All right. So they basically couldn't go to the movies. They couldn't watch wrestling. They couldn't have any fun. And within a few hundred years, the Roman Empire no longer had a military because the men refused to serve. They were using mercenaries to do everything. There was no income coming into the Roman Empire. The mercenaries realized that the emperor had no money when they tried to pay them in land. They pillaged the empire. They, called the emperor's bluff, pillaged the empire, and then we were cast into 1,000 years of darkness. Imagine living in caves and eating squirrel meat. And of course, that's when witchcraft was running rampant, and you had women walking in the streets dancing around like yeah, let me tell y'all something. They knew what they were doing when those that whole Salem trial thing. They knew what they were doing. We really need to bring some of that back. So yeah, we were plunged into 1,000 years of darkness, and those were really dark ages. Those are the real dark ages. Horrible things happened during those times. I mean, there were some real people moving around on broomsticks back then, and all of that started off with no fault divorces in Rome, women running out and marrying gladiators while offering their husbands, and then men basically refusing to marry anymore. And then boom, we're plunged into darkness. And if you listen to this nonsense, it's insane. If you don't work, and provide for the women and children, you are worse than a non-believer. Do you hear this nonsense? When I tell you to stay away from the church, these people will cost you your soul. They will cost you your salvation. No one can take your salvation away from you. Your salvation is not linked to your relationship to mankind. It has nothing to do with whether or not you provide for a woman and children. It has nothing to do with whether you love your brother. Keep in mind, after Cain took the life of his brother, God forgave him. And the mark of Cain was actually placed upon Cain, not to punish him, it was placed upon him to protect him so that no one would hurt him. God placed the mark there so that anyone who saw that mark would know that God was protecting him. This is why the mark was placed. It was not a punishment. God forgave Cain for what he had done. So this nonsense, this notion that your salvation is linked to your treatment of your brother, if you love your brother or not, that's incorrect. God forgives us for all we've done. God immediately forgave Cain after he had committed his sin. Keep in mind, it was the first deletion, but at the same time, we are like babies on this earth. We absolutely are. That pastor, like I said, women and these and the church, they're accomplices, just like women in the government are accomplices. Women in the church are accomplices. Okay, this man is literally saying that you are worse than a non-believer. So he's trying to say like you can lose your salvation. You can lose your salvation if you don't provide for the women and children. If you refuse to work, if you're a man in the home and you don't work, you are worse than a non-believer. Basically, there, guys, this is sickening. This is sickening. Can you imagine Jesus coming back and basically putting these people in check? Guys, they would literally say, they'd tell them to get out of here. They tell them to get out of here. And I'm telling y'all right now, a lot of these people, they start plotting like, okay, well, I guess we need to send him back to heaven. I'm tell Someone said in the chat that Catholicism is witchcraft, and so much of it is definitely linked with that. Like even the concept of hell is questionable. Like where did that come from? Really sounds like the Catholic Church. It really, really does. Let me read what MK Fitness says because he's a spiritual man. He said the pastor didn't say wife and kids. Notice how he worded it. He said all women in your house. My gosh, y'all. Truth, truth, truth. The church is just like the government. They can't afford to take care of single mothers, so they are trying to shame men. And Christos says most women in America are degenerates. The same goes for most men. Amen. Oh my goodness. MK says shaming tactics is manipulation. Manipulation is witchcraft. Guys, it is sickening what they are doing. And I kept telling y'all, stay out of the church. I said to y'all that there's nothing for you there. You know God has not been, you know God isn't there. You know God isn't there. He hasn't been there for a long time. I don't know if he was ever there to begin with. Stay out of the church. You're only going there for community and entertainment. And a lot of y'all didn't want to listen to me. I said, stay out of the church. All right? I can't tell you what to do, but I'm telling you to stay out of the church. Stay out of the church. And y'all didn't want to listen to me. And some of y'all still messing around with the church. And you know you have no damn business there. A church is not even a building, and it's not a religion. By the definition of what Jesus describes as what it's described as in the Bible, what Jesus described it as, to my understanding, is described. A church is basically a gathering of believers in Jesus Christ. That is a church. That's why they say where 2 or 3 are gathered, let there be God. That is a church. When Jesus fed all those people on the hill, that was church. That was a gathering of believers. If you are around believers in Jesus Christ, you are in church. This is insanity. Stay away from these places. Stay away. MK says, I just talked about it this morning on my live. Jesus can't come back because too many Christians will be going to hell. Bro, they made their decision. They really made their decision. I'm telling y'all. Christos says American women won't date Jesus Christ. He has no money. They would literally be out here calling him a broke boy, because Jesus would shun these types of things. He would shun wealth. He would shun extravagant living. He would shun Prada. And these women would start talking about Jesus as a broke boy and try to question his sexuality and a number of other things, because he would reject them. He would literally reject them, and he would call them out. Listen, look at what happened with Mary in the Bible. He said to her, like, where's your husband? And she goes, I have no husband. He goes, hey, that's right. You have many husbands. He was basically talking about the fact that she was known to be a promiscuous woman or a prostitute. Jesus knew how to crack jokes, but he also kept it real. But he wasn't going to fall for that. He resisted the temptations. It's not that he didn't like it. It's just that he wasn't going to let some 304 get him, mess him up. And that's really how it was. And so, Jesus would come back to earth, and these 304s would try to exchange, the golden V for blessings. Literally, like, okay, Jesus, so I want to become a millionaire. I want you to land me a millionaire. So how about this? They would literally be out here trying to barter V for blessings, like literally for miracles. They would try to barter the golden V for miracles. All right, I'm telling y'all, it's sickening. MK says there are 20 million more single Christian women in the church than men. Guys, Western society, like it has collapsed, but we just don't know it yet. We absolutely do not know it yet. Okay, most people refuse to accept it, but anyone who is consciously aware can see what has happened. Guys, if you're enjoying this content, help get this channel to 100,000 subscribers by subscribing to the channel if you already have it, liking the video, and turning on notifications to never miss another video ever again. Men have abandoned society and women for lives of peace and happiness. What do you guys think regarding what we've discussed here today? I want to hear your thoughts. You know what I think, but I want to know what you guys think in the comments, so let's talk about it there. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like the video, share the video, and just remember that all roads lead to MWM and walking away. And cheers.